What is going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to another edition of On the Road to Victory. I am your host, Jimmy Smith, and I hope you're all having yourselves a great Friday. It has been one hell of a long week for me, and I can't tell you how excited I am to be here, sitting in this chair, ready to talk some birds with you. This is your show, ladies and gentlemen, so any questions, any comments, topics, whatever is on your mind, we'll do a little weekly recap, talk about everything that's going on in free agency. Look, it just began a week ago, and you see how serious this team is about rebuilding this thing right into a contender. And it's not a rebuild, as a lot of people want to say. We talk about retooling some things. We have a foundation here with some great young players, and I think the Eagles will continue to build on that. We got the draft coming up next month. All that content's coming your way with the draft stuff. So look, I'm going to do my best to keep you up to date with everything throughout the week, showing you the cap space, updated depth charts with all these additions. So hopefully you were able to catch those shows. If not, well, that's what we're here for tonight. So let's rock and roll, you sickos. Hope you're having a great week. Appreciate you taking the time, my man Sean. Let's go. Yo, dude, hope you're having a great week. Tiffany, Dank, all of you sickos taking the time. And man, I cannot stress enough how grateful I am that it is Friday. Kavai, my man, appreciate you tuning in. And only got one mailbag question from you channel members, and that's 13, 14 of you, only one of you. Hey, I'll be real with you, did not mind having not to make those graphics because today was another long day for me. Actually got done the physical work pretty early, but then drove all over creation just to do a few of these leads. But just literally right before I got on, my boss messaged me, told me sold a big job there. And I had a nice little hand in it, so maybe a little bonus coming my way, throwing it out there. But, doing my best to learn all this stuff so I can get out there and really try to make some money and, continue to improve this show, so let's go, baby. But I hope you all had a great week. And Cordero Patterson, yeah, he was good a few years ago, but as we talked about with the running backs, he's got some left in the tank. I'm not against adding competition there. Yo, my man, next shift. Appreciate you tuning in, brother. Hope you're having yourself a great week. And look, man, we're here to talk about whatever you guys want in your minds. Free agents, anything. And, I've talked about Patterson for years. You think that the return game is something, we would have stressed for years there, and I don't know what they were doing. But this year, I feel pretty comfortable there. He provides you some power, somebody that can help you out of the backfield. How we talk about Saquon Barkley. But you have Saquon Barkley here, and I think that, a veteran like him, not against it, but you got Kenny Gainwell, Tyrion Davis-Price, Lou Nichols. I think they'll look to add in the draft, and you could add another vet. So Cordero, one of those guys we talked about, would not be against, but not dire need here, right? But not against it. Go Birds! Appreciate you taking the time, China. Hope you're having a great week here. Look, I think that kids are excited about their Father's Day. Yeah, it's pretty cool, right? And this is a winning team, especially when they come from loser franchises like the Giants. They don't know what winning is. So now they get to be a part of something special. And we're happy to have them because I know I myself would like to go get that trophy this year. And I think that is what we are building. We already saw the pieces that we have here. So very excited about it. And we're going to recap that. So appreciate you starting us off here. But let's take a look at some of the things. I gave you guys the updated cap space. You've seen all the stuff that we've talked about when it came to, and I told you we'll do a recap here, but if you missed it, dude, there are shows for everybody. And then, the first few days, you just kind of have daily recaps, but you can see we got Paris Campbell. We talk about him adding to the return game. You got Tyler Hall. He can help in the return game. Both, depth pieces that help you in the slot on offense and defense. We talked about needing depth there. Paris Campbell could start if you don't add in the draft. We'll see what happens there, but competition was a must. Talked about a nose tackle. Got that. So you got a lot of the depth that we were talking about. You get depth at linebacker with Oren Burks and, Zach Vaughn. Versatile pieces. And you guys can hear all my breakdowns on all these guys. You get starting caliber linebacker and Devin White. You get a starting edge who knows? We got a question here coming up to discuss that, but whether he's starting or part of the rotation, whatever, he was my number one free agent, and we got him. Cannot stress how excited I am there. CJ Gardner-Johnson, very excited about that. And, on the offensive side of the ball, obviously, you talked about Paris Campbell, but you got an offensive lineman, can help you at center and guard. push those young guys to be the starters they need to be in Steen and Jurgens. But in case anything happens, you have him here. And look, they will continue to add in the draft, possibly in free agency, but getting these pieces you need, depth pieces, Devontae Parker now with Paris Campbell. You lose Quez, you lose Alameda, you lose Julio. I would still consider Alameda, but I would look to the draft as well. But you got Devontae Parker, Paris Campbell. So some upgrades there over those former guys I just mentioned. You get a backup quarterback who can compete with Tanner McKee. So I think, killing it so far. And obviously, Saquon Barkley, holy hell. The fact that we have him on the Philadelphia Eagles, to me, is just truly, truly insane. And when you look at this updated depth chart here, you can see like where my excitement comes from. All the guys in green are free agents or traded for. And then you can see the guys in gray, the future reserve. So if that offense just right now, and that's without the draft even starting in, a little over a week in free agency, I don't know what to tell you, because I really feel that this team still has the talent here, and we're going to see how the new coaches do, but I'm pretty excited about them. And I think we could get this team to be one of the best, if not the best in the league, and go get that damn trophy, man. I already felt last year we could have done it. You got rid of some of the dead weight, and I think that, you obviously lost some key pieces, but you already had draft picks in place for guys like Kelsey and Cox. So, to me, we're set, and we're adding some studs here. I think this team is only going to continue to get better here. And as I mentioned earlier, the special teams area is somewhere you actually don't have to worry about for once. So you locked up Elliott, Mann, Lovato, and you've got guys like Covey, Rogers. You added Campbell and Hall. So, again, you will continue to add. We have the draft coming up, so you'll draft guys. You'll sign undrafted guys. We will have a 90-man roster. We will have all kinds of competition here and all kinds of moves being made. And I'm going to jump right into the fan question here from Nina. Truly appreciate you getting this in, but do you think Reddick will be back? Nina's thoughts on this were, I kind of do. And then she tossed in the old fingers crossed just to back it up. So I love it. And you guys can give me your opinion on this. But to me, when I talked in free agency about adding Bryce Huff, it was when I was telling you, and I mean, for this whole year, I've been telling you, they're going to tell us about how Reddick and Sweat, are going to get traded. And that moment came. I told you guys, don't get thrown off by it, because that's just due diligence by Howie. And sure enough, he's going to test the market. He's going to do those things. Sweat stayed, right? So he didn't have to be traded. Reddick doesn't have to be, but you signed someone like Bryce Huff, gave him big money. So maybe you get something in return rather than just letting Reddick walk next year. And you hope that, the future is Nolan Smith and Bryce Huff. Obviously you figure out whatever with Sweat next year, but to me, you could just figure out whatever with Reddick next year. You don't have to extend him if you don't want, but you could restructure that $21 million cap hit, bring it down to around $10 million, makes it much more feasible for him to play on that. And then next year you can figure it out. Maybe he wants to re-sign this, that, the other thing. But having Reddick, Sweat, and Huff in a rotation, to me, that's Super Bowl bound, baby. I mean, how are you stopping that rotation? So, and that's with Nolan Smith, Brandon Graham, incorporated into that. So, my God. But to me, it's definitely a possibility, but it's always been, for the last year we talked about it. You got to gauge the market. If his agent's asking for too much and we're going to give, he doesn't want to restructure, then get something in return. If he's happy to restructure and play here one last year, let's go. If he wants to make an extension that is team friendly, we can put some dummy years on it, cap hits are low, I'm all about it. So to me, I think he could definitely stay, and I think the hope is that he will. So that's, just part of the process is gauging the market. What would teams trade for him? What would these teams that are trading for him, what would they give, him after they trade for him, pay wise. So you got to check all this stuff out. But to me, he could definitely stay. And I'm hopeful that he does. I hear a lot of people, you can't keep, multiple edge rushers. And it's like, dog, did you see the year where the first team in NFL history to have 4 players with 10 plus sacks just like 2 years ago? Yeah, I want that again. I want a rotation, and I would love to have Reddick here. I think that would be amazing. At least 1 year with all 3 of those guys. And again, teaching Nolan Smith and having Old Man River, Brandon Graham here, I think it would be huge. So, yeah, a lot of linebackers I'll be intrigued by, man. And I'm getting that content ready as fast as I possibly can. And we'll be breaking it all down. A lot of guys from the draft that we've talked about that clearly at certain positions we're going to like, but I'll break down every single person, every single position. We'll talk about where I think these people are going. And man, I'm looking forward to it. Hope you sickos are ready. Yo, my man Keith, hope you're having a good one, man. And it is I'm in the Eagles chair. I am ready to relax, ready to have a relaxing weekend. It was a crazy, crazy week. Every day that I got off work, I went on leads. Now today we were able to get the job done pretty early, went on the leads. I got to make a video at lunch. That was pretty cool. And then head out. So it got split up a little bit, but I was ready to lock in at lunch. I made a video and then I was like, oh shit, I got to go back out and back in the basements. And, but it was nice out today. And, the last place had a pretty cool dog named Winston. Big shout out to you, Winston. Big dog fan. Yo, but, hope you're having a good one, my man, Keith. It has been a long week for me. Yo, Michael, my man, they're taking wide receiver depth here. Hey, we talked about it. They're going to add to a lot of positions here. And I think that obviously losing 3 guys in free agency, you're going to have that. And yeah, a lot of great receivers in this draft. And being between 6th and 10th wide receiver. Yeah, man, you're going to see all over the place. And they'll change every week, man, because that's just kind of how the process works. They find out a name, they go with it. Each week somebody tells me, I bet you don't know this person. And I'm like, dude, no, I literally have heard that you're about the 60th person. And I think they think we don't all see these other articles and posts and stuff. And it's like, no, I see when these people start finding out who players are. It's always funny because each week it's somebody different. And that's why we started doing things the way we do in these parts, because everybody was getting, all these followers off of my work. So it was like, all right, let's see how they do when I do it this way. So, well, we've all found out. And, we're going for year 6 in a row here, and I'm going to do my best to break it all down. So lots of possibilities here, man. Anything is possible with the Philadelphia Eagles. And in the draft, it's best available. If somebody's falling that they find is a top 10 guy and he's there at 22, they're going to take him, whether what position that is or not. So they could trade up, they could trade back. So many things we're going to break down here, and I'm looking forward to it. And I think, obviously there's a lot of talented people. So each week you'll hear they got to draft this guy. This week, I think it was Bauer. The week before, it was Leggett. I mean, it's always somebody. But to me, that's the fun part about it. And that's why I always break it down each position so you can hear who I like all across the board. And then you got to wait, but then you find out who my guy is. And well, I know all those content creators are waiting, but you're going to have to come up with your own guy, because that's just the way things roll around these parts now. And I've enjoyed the past few years how we've been doing things, the live streams, everything together. Kind of, we're just sitting back waiting for our picks. And last year was the first where we got to do that actually live on stream together rather than just talking about it. So I'm pumped up, man. I think that another great year is coming. Howie's been killing it. So, yeah, and I feel you on that, China. Already in free agency, it's been insane. And seeing them like at their pressers and wearing the Eagle stuff, it's just like, this is nuts. This is nuts. Yeah, I saw that. And well, if he wants less money, he could happily come on down. Hey, Nina, appreciate you tuning in. And I got to your fan question already and talked about the fact that I love Reddick to stay. We talked about that when I wanted Bryce Huff in free agency. I wanted him to be a part of rotation. That was not under the impression that, Reddick or Sweat had to be traded, because I already knew all that talk would come. That's why I've talked about it for a year. But, getting people to understand how this stuff works would be key, but they refuse. So the media gets people twisted. I think, to me, Reddick can happily stay, but it's how much is he asking for? What are other teams offering? If there's, some kind of second round pick with some additional stuff on it, it's going to be hard to say no when you've got Bryce Huff, Josh Sweat, Nolan Smith waiting in the wings with Brandon Graham back. You get something in return. Not hard to see why, but I've shown you guys throughout the times here, that we have, that cap that is real life, and you have to take all that stuff into account. So, Hassan Reddick, let me find it. This is somebody that you are not getting rid of right now. People keep, we're going to get rid of him. This, that, the other thing. We're not going to take on all that dead money unless it's a huge trade haul. But you could, after June 1st, do something, because then you could save some money, or you could extend or restructure him, as we've talked about for a very, very, very long time on this show. But until people start listening to me and not to WIPs of the world, well, people will continue being pissed off about the media. Now, look, the reason I warn you about this stuff is not to say that it won't, is to say be prepared, because that's how football works. In the business side of things, when you're coming up on a contract year and you see your team, I mean, we talked about this before last offseason, because watch them draft the replacement, and they got Nolan Smith. So the hope is that he is that guy, but you just signed Huff. You never know what could happen. But look, the Eagles, man, they signed someone like a big name edge. You'll know, not looking good for Reddick, but anything can happen. And I showed you guys the video earlier. If you caught it, we got 33.6 mil as it stands, but I keep saying it's probably around 30 million because right now you have 7 guys that aren't even accounted for. And I've been looking at it. A lot of the things they didn't account for. And I'm just kind of playing it, back a little bit. As I've told you guys, I know nobody wanted to be patient and wait for when all the numbers are out. So I told you I would just keep you up to date. Every time new numbers come out, I'll give them to you and explain the fact that we need all of them to really decide what that number is. But we can get somewhere, right, with that information I've shown you. And here's all the new cap hits for these new players. And we talk about how Howie is a magician. Nobody over 5 mil here, just like last year. And, looking at Huff and Barkley, those are very low. And then everybody else below 2 million. And that's how Howie does, man. And we talk about, these other guys they need. The reason I feel it's going to be around 30 million is because you're not subtracting whatever those new guys are that we don't have their numbers. You're actually replacing them with the other 7 guys that are at the bottom of the 51. So it's really, you're going to have around 30 million. And I told you tomorrow, you're going to have that show, Ways to Create Cap Space. We can have up to like 50 million, man. I'm telling you, if we want to sign, trade for any kind of safety, linebacker, whatever, this show ain't over, man. And you've got the draft coming up, and people will try to tell you because they don't understand the cap, you need 10 million for the draft picks. No, you don't. And it's more like 5, if that. And it's really going to depend. Once I get those numbers, I will show you all that stuff. Before we even draft anyone, I will have their cap numbers, just like every year we do here. I know you sickos love that stuff. So if you're into that kind of information, keep tuning in, man. I appreciate all of you hitting that like button, subscribing. This baby's been growing. It seems people actually want real information now, which I love. It's beautiful to see people getting sick of the misinformation, the hot takes, everybody just whining, only rooting when the Eagles are winning. It's like, let's just talk about when they do suck. Let's talk about how they can fix it. But I do understand a lot of those people have no idea what they're watching, so they can't talk about how to fix it. They prefer just to whine. So I get it. But let's get people on board, because I'm telling you, this team, they're about to smoke everybody. Go Birds. And I think that, you're going to see most people coming on board with this notion that the Eagles will be winning the Super Bowl, because we've already been killing it in free agency. And I told you we would with the cap we had, but watch what we do in the draft. So just saying, stay patient, ladies and gentlemen. What did I tell you? First day of sicko season. Strap in. It's time to go get that trophy back. I promise you, I will guide you right through. If you tune in here, you will know the cap space every day. You will know what this team looks like every day, every player ever signed. If you ever miss anything, you can always go back to the playlist. You can check the posts I make on every single social media platform. You will never, ever, ever miss anything that's ever happening with the Eagles if you just check my channel or check any of those social media platforms. This is the place to find all of your Eagles news, factual information at least. But the hot take stuff, all that stuff, if there's time for it, we can talk about whatever, you guys are getting worked by the media with. I know people get pissed off, and I get it, man. I get pissed too. But we're here to talk about the facts, right, man? So, hey, look, that's what we started this thing on, teaching people how the cap works, just trying to teach people what position people play, the defense. And it's been awesome getting to know a lot of you. And let those haters hate, man. We'll continue to educate. That's a motto in these parts. Sicko season. My man Kavai, appreciate you, dude. 29 million. Is that all free, Jane? No, it's the number I just showed you there. But Eagles draft. Yeah, we want the Eagles to draft well. But again, that draft, it's going to continue to change as numbers get added. And I will continue to update that as I get to update that stuff. And again, it looks like this, but that's not it. And I'll keep saying it, it's around 30 million because of the fact that you've got to take these 7 players into account. So it will look like that if you try to look it up, but these players have to go into account. But you have to remember, they're not just going against the cap. You are replacing them. So do not fear, ladies and gentlemen. As soon as all those numbers are out, I will have the exact number for you. And I'll even put together the top 51 cap hits. You will literally, if you've ever watched this show in sicko season, as we like to call it, you know that I give you every little piece of information you could ever want to know about every single thing. So when it comes to the cap and the draft and all that stuff, I promise you, you will have everything you need to know. Now, I can check if anything else came because I honestly put this couple of graphics together before I got home and then looked at whatever else I could. But yeah, if you check, it's going to show you the number. But you're still waiting on CJ Gardner-Johnson, PJ Mustapher, Oren Burks, Devin White, Lovato, Hall, and Campbell, as I just showed you there. So yeah, again, and I know you guys are impatient, so that's why I just keep making the shows without the real numbers, because I know nobody cares and they're just going to listen to all the other media and content people making up numbers. So at least I'm going to guide you and show you what I'm doing here. And that way, when the actual numbers come out and we can do the math together, I'll show you how I did it. Then I'll teach you how I get those cap hits and figure out what the Eagles cap space will be and how much money they actually have. And yeah, man, I explain it all throughout each day, each week. Sicko season, baby. So for all you sickos, hope you're strapped in here. Do we have room for a big trade? Yes, man. That's all what I was just explaining there. That is a lot of cap space there. So 3 rounds. No, it's just like I said last year. I think it was our first 3 or 4 picks. I think it was 4, but it's top 51 is what your cap consists of. Top 51 cap hits. That's what your salary cap you have to be under. It's the top 51 guys. When you draft people, whatever their draft or their cap hit is, you're just, again, just like when signing someone, you're replacing them if their number is higher than that 51st person. So last year it was only 4 players. So I will show you the numbers. We'll see which ones are higher, which ones aren't. And it depends on who's on the team at that time. And so all that stuff fluctuates. And again, you guys know, if you've tuned in here before, you know I explain that every single show all the time. Every time information changes, I will teach you exactly how that stuff works. And you will always know how that works. And you can always go back to years past if you guys want to know, like you don't want to wait and you want to figure stuff out. And look, man, look at how many content creators have built themselves up by just doing what I do. All you got to do is just follow what I do. I map it all out. I could make you the most intelligent fan when you go into wherever you're walking. I will provide you so much ammo, nobody will know what they just stepped into. So that's the goal here, to give you so much information you don't even know what to do with it. Like, you got to rewatch it. You're like, that's what I want. I want you guys to be able to really gain something from this. And I'm glad a lot of you do, because you've seen how long it's taken to change the game. Now, I obviously don't get any of the credit or the money for it, but you've seen what I've done, creating all these content creators and making the media learn how this stuff works. And I can't do that without you sickos. Like, seriously, like, the more you guys share stuff, are commenting, liking, letting people know where this actually comes from, the less they get to steal this stuff without me getting paid for it. So I hope you little shitbirds are ready, because your time, it's done. It's my turn to actually reap the benefits of all the work I've put into changing the game and getting Eagles fans on board with cheering for the team rather than just being Cowboys fans, because that's been the mission for years now. When I watched everyone quit on the Eagles when Carson Wentz went down, I knew a real diehard had to step in and change the game. And that's what we've been doing here, man. From my deathbed, here we are. And hey, man, it's crazy. This team has truly been trying to build something since then. And I think we're about to see something special here this year. Big free, does that mean in the future, like, you will have caps? No, not at all. Like I explained in all those cap shows, I don't know where those people that are dumb get that stuff, but they just make things up like that. Oh, dude, down to you have dead money. And I always ask, what does dead money mean to you? What do restructures and extensions? What do you understand about that stuff? And every time you start asking real questions, these people have no idea what they're talking about. And it's like, well, just leave the cap stuff to me then, because no, we're perfectly fine. I can assure you, you've seen the future cap. I'm not going to give you that until we get the real numbers, because that's pointless. But you've seen how much money we have in the future. You see how Howie is always able to restructure and move things around. That's why I do those shows every year right away to start the sicko season. You've already seen all the moves we've made. We've talked about them. I can see them coming, because you got to know what you're looking at. I don't know why the media refuses to learn football, but that's fine. They're going to tell you the Eagles are in trouble. Jalen Hurts. Oh, yeah. Nah, we broke down that contract, showed you exactly how you restructure that, all that stuff, everything. I don't know where they get that stuff, man. So we can stop asking. Yeah. During the offseason, top 51 have once season starts. Yeah. It's the practice squad, IR, 53, everybody, man. Just nobody that is on the exempt list. So yeah. Speaking of sharing TikTok, Eagles has 201 likes. Oh, on TikTok. I do have a TikTok. I'll have to get on there and see that. That was hilarious. I forgot all about that video. I was so pissed off at that point. That was the Eagles Giants game. And instantly when I saw that thing, dude, it brought me right back. I was so frustrated at that point because it's like I come out here every day, every week, explain how you can fix it, dog. Like, do you need to watch my I mean, they gotta watch. They have to. They should, because I don't understand how we could sit here. And it took the media a little bit to finally start repeating what I was saying, but it was like, dog, we should be able to fix this. Look at this team. What are we doing? And they just didn't want to. And at that point, it was like, all right, dog. They want to keep spitting in my face, and that's what it felt like. So, yeah, I was pretty pissed off, and that's me like timid. I remember that video. I had to literally wait a little bit and bring myself down because I was ready to go through a wall. Yeah, my man. And you guys, about 5-6 years of those videos, you can always go back to any of those years and see how that stuff works. There's different stuff in each year. I mean, whatever you guys, I mean, you can do whatever the hell you want. I mean, that video will be out when the information comes out. So I think it's cool people like this stuff now, because before I used to just put them out and nobody watched or cared about that. The cap's not real. And I finally had to jump in front of all the media and content creators, be like, dog, this is how it works. Like, please stop just misinforming everyone, because I don't know why it bothers me that, everybody just gets by with lying. And, that's just not my thing. I can't stand it, actually. And literally why I created On the Road to Victory. Like, I don't know. No doubt I will definitely have to go and check that out. So we'll see. Yeah, well, see, that's crazy. What you did do is just learn what the cap was, because you came in here with a fake number and no idea what you were talking about. So maybe sometimes I could tell some of you, shut the hell up for a second and you could learn something. You come in here whining about, I don't know this. Yeah, you didn't learn anything because you're just a whiny douchebag. So no one cares, Davey, that you come here to steal information and then whine about it. No one cares, dog. So glad you learned how the cap works now that I just explained it. Go fuck yourself. Now, anyways, let's get back to the Eagles. So sorry, I had to block that person. It always blows my mind that I sit here and I just put so much work into all this stuff, trying to help those type of fans that are just miserable at all, to hate life, hate their families. They come here drinking, their Smirnoff Ice and pissed off at life, yelling at their girlfriends while they're talking about the Eagles suck. And it's like, dog, I don't give a shit. I've extended my hand to everyone all the time. I do it all the time because I mean it. I will always be your friend. But when you come in here, your negative attitude, talking like a bitch because you don't know anything about football, dog, that's not my fault. If you just listen to what I teach you, you would be perfectly fine. But you don't want to. You're upset. I didn't learn anything. Well, dumbass, you literally came in here with wrong numbers, not understanding, asking questions that you didn't know, and you learned. So what's that called? Learning? Oh, I guess you did. Simpletons, man. And that's the problem here, Dank. And it's unbearable, dude. I don't have time for those people. They're instantly getting blocked, bro. This channel is for sickos who want to come here, escape. I got so much shit on my plate, bro. I want to come here, and I look forward to this. You guys are family. Like, I'm pumped up. Come here to talk birds. Like, oh my God, we got all these side eggs. Like, I can't wait to talk to you guys about that stuff. Like, I literally like calling my brother, like calling my pop. Like, that's what it is. You guys, it's literally like that extension of, I cannot wait to talk with other sickos about how much we love the Eagles, man. And if you learn something, that's a plus. If I learn something from you, huge plus. That's what we're here for. Share the brotherly love. I'm not the smartest guy in the world. There is so much shit to be learned. But guess what? I definitely know a lot more than the media or any other content creators out there because I've watched them. And that's why I created this. And dog, all I ever try to do is help people understand things. And I understand if that rubs people wrong, that, they're not allowed to take my work. And I get pissed that I've been doing this for so many years that I want to get credit for it. Well, guess what, douchebags? I do. I actually hate the fact that I have so many medical issues and bills, and you little shitbirds feed off of your parents, your girlfriends, and you feed off of my content. I can't take that shit, bro. I'm a real man. I work my ass off, and then I come here and add this. So if you're going to come in here with that negative attitude, gots to go, baby. No Cowboys fans allowed. But if If you wasn't learning, why are you saying? That's the point. I came in here to tell you I'm little Davy, little boy Davy, coming on down by the creek to tell me, well, little boy Davy, go fuck yourself. How about that? I really, and you know what? I'm actually not even mad at all. To be real with you, Davey, whatever you got going on in life, I hope that things turn around for you. I hope you stop projecting your self-hatred onto others, and I hope you get life figured out, because you acting like a little bitch all the time is doing nothing for you or the ones around you. Get it together. Maybe watch a football channel that talks about football and enjoy yourself. Have a good time and join in as a family member and have a great time. Or you could always be a negative little bitch, and then this is what happens to you. I don't know, man. Maybe that, you have to think about your actions and the consequences. An idea, man. Just an idea. And Sean, my man, I appreciate that. And all you guys coming in here, I'm here to help. I'm not saying I know everything. If there's a question I don't know, I will find it out for you. I will do everything in my power to make sure we are the smartest fan base in the world. That is literally the mission here, is to educate, not be like other fan bases out there, not just following what the media says, because we're talking about dudes that have never played the sport of football, and we're supposed to take them as experts. I'm going to pass on it, and I'm going to sit here and continue to rise above them when it comes to the cap, the draft, anything else. And little Davey, if you can find any of those people and tell me how much you learned from them when they can't even compare to me, well, I'd love to hear that explanation. Because unfortunately, if you're learning from them, that means you're just an extension of learning from me, baby. How's that feel? Because I know you can still watch this. So that sucks, bro. Oh, he's got that Lil D energy coming on downtown. All right, dude. Anyways, hey, look, and yo, that's awesome. And look, when I met Chelsea, basic understanding, but like, I'm a psycho. Obviously, I talk about shit that most normal fans don't know. Like, I'm just like that, man. And I thought I'm going to create this channel because maybe other people will like this stuff. And if you don't, if you're not into learning stuff, you aren't learning anything because you're just yelling at yourself and mad at the world, that's great, man. There are so many other channels where you'll learn absolutely nothing, and you can scream about how we got to trade and fire everyone. If that's for you, man, there are so many radio stations. There are so many stupid people like you out there. Have fun with that, man. Here at On the Road to Victory, we're sickos. We're diehards. We come from lifelong lineage. Maybe when we were kids, you found this out. You guys all have different stories. I don't care where you came from. Where did you go? Where did you come from, Little Dick Dave? Okay, anyways. Now, I think that you guys, that for me, this is family, dude. So when you start stepping on that dog, and I'm not the one, baby, I can promise you that. So bye-bye, little Davey. And let's get back into talking to football here, because I'm actually really pumped about this offseason. I was pumped to get off work today and talk about it. We got cap space. We got the ability to be able to trade for people. Dude, and I'm going to make that video for you, ways to create cap space where we have more money. Then I'm going to show you an update on where do I feel the positions of need still are after all of these people we added. So we'll break it all down. There's plenty of good Eagles content here, but you sure are the best. Hey, man, I really do appreciate that. And even the smallest, how much of a weirdo I am. I've gone through every coach we've hired. That's what I've done since day one, man. And nobody liked that cap stuff at first either. But dude, understanding this stuff and knowing all of the ins and outs, sorry, there's a hair on me. That is very important to how I figure out who we're going to sign, who we're going to draft. That's just part of it. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of parts that go into it, but I just try to show you guys the parts that I know and understand, and hope that it's helpful, and hope that it, starts a conversation that we can just shoot the shit with. You know what I mean? And it's so weird that people don't like that. I don't get it, man. I understand that we all got stuff going on in life, but I'm literally the show where it's like, dog, I've been there. I get it. I've been to hell and back. I'm here for you. I'm here to be your friend. Why you want to be my enemy? And I understand you're being used by the world and how the media gets people today, and they want to pit us all against each other. I get it. But dog, I'm not the one. I'm not. And I'm sorry that you're upset about life, but it's weird. I appreciate you, Tiffany. You're the best. You guys are all the best. I love you. And Liz is in here. Let's go. You just missed it. We had some little D energy in here, so we had to get that out the way. And look, we replaced it with a real one here. Let's go. Liz in the building. And you guys, again, you're family to me. So nobody's going to mess with that. And my man Lil in here. Let's ride, baby. It's what I'm talking about. See, this is what I built this for, the sickos. And I have so many comments, so many things I can't even keep up with anymore, that I have no time for that stuff. I'm sorry if you get blocked or I'm mad at life. I'm sorry, dog. I'm not 12 years old. Don't got time for that shit. And I want to talk some birds, baby, because I hope you're all ready. We're about to get that trophy back. And that is a fact. Write it down, whatever you need to do. We're on the road to victory. And that's just my opinion, but truly feel it. I truly do. But China is awesome, dude. And that's what I tell you guys. Like, I want you to be like how my family, my friends are. They call me and I know what they're doing. They want to go to work. They got somebody busting their balls. They're looking up stats. They got this. They're like, dude, send me in, dude. And I'm going to make you like, I'll see people at a store and they'll be wearing something Cowboys or something. They want to say something. I'm going to bust them down about their team. They're not even going to be able to explain my team. So let's find out how much they even know about their team first. I make people shit their pants when they start talking football with me. And that's what I want it to be. I want you guys to be able to come here and be like, I'm going to learn something. This guy actually might just have an idea. If he's gotten 5 years in a row who we're going to draft, destroyed all these free agent signings more than any person has ever I've seen. Maybe, just maybe I understand. I don't know, man. I guess I got to sit here for some more years and watch everybody take it, or little Davey in the gang will get upset. Ugh. Dog, you don't know the things I go through in life just to make these videos, bro. Like, my dedication's unmatched. If you can't appreciate that, you ain't a part of the family. That's just unfortunate. It brings a little tear to my eye because you could all be part of something special here. But I love it, China. That's what this is all about. And I'm not here like, I'm smarter than you. Dog, I go into the basements and I feel like the biggest moron in the world half the time. I need you to grab this, do this. Blah, blah. I'm learning so many effing things. Football is just my thing. Just like, I always try to use the analogy. Like, if you're getting on a plane, would you hope that your pilot has flown a plane before? I mean, I would. And if not, wouldn't you hope they at least had a basic understanding of how to fly a plane before you're going to trust them with your life to fly you somewhere? That's how I feel about football. I'm not going to get in and listen to somebody tell me about football when, okay, you didn't play. All right, you didn't have to play to understand it. That's fine. But now you don't even have a basic understanding of how anything works. But I'm supposed to take your word. That, to me, insane. The dog, I can't. It's just, and they get so mad at me, the fans. I don't understand. Like, F you, man. You won't make up rumors. Like, I'm sorry, dog. Like, where did that even come from for little Davey? Davey comes in here with the wrong numbers. I help him out, give him the real numbers, explain how it works, and then I've never learned anything. But yet you're tuning in trying to learn something. That's fucking weird, man. Give me a break. Holy hell. We have Big Red. Oh, man. I love Big Red. But, hey, man, it was time to go. I understand it. That was darker times in my life, too. And I remember just how miserable I was. But, dude, it could really we could be special, obviously. But I still love me some Sirianni, and I'm excited to see what he does with Kellen Moore and Vic Fangio here. It's going to be Sirianni's 4th year ever as being a head coach. Pretty amazing start first 3 years, but obviously the way it fell apart last year, it's terrible. 2 young coordinators there. You hope that some more experienced guys, especially a guy like Vic Fangio on D, really should help out the team. I'm excited about it. And it is it's insane, Liz. And for me, it makes sense. Negative people, they want to bring you down to their level. And I get it, man. A lot of people are upset that I don't give them this. And look, I give all this information for free, but they get upset that I called them out on it. Now everybody's mad that, I won't just let them all build their content and just do exactly what I do. And I call them on it. And it's like, look, man, I still let you do it. It's not like I'm, taking your channel down and reporting you, like, which I totally probably should or could, but it's like, I ain't a rat. I just think you're little squirrels. So for me, you want a nut, I got one for you. And I just think you want to keep taking, and you just don't want to understand that I ain't here to take something from you. I'm here to give that. It's not a problem to me, but just a little bit of helping me reach it to where I'm going rather than trying to hinder it. You know what I mean? And that's what I always receive from most of those people. But that's what I told you. I found you diehards, right? And I found real sick of, I'm sorry, that was truly inappropriate. And my mind, you can tell, it's been a long week. I'm running on fumes, and I just kind of had enough of people. I was just talking with my boss today. We were going to the one lead and just telling him, like, this is my baby. And I was explaining because he was saying about somebody called and was just being a dick, whatever, and just trying to, be a clown. And, they always try to say customer's always right. And I told him, F that, dog, ain't going to happen, because they're not. And a lot of them just want to see your world burn. They just want to be miserable, man. And it's like, You ain't messing with my baby, dude. Like, this is something I built on my deathbed because I was tired of it. And now you're tired that I won't repeat when is this show ever? One day ever been about fake news or anything like that? It has been about the facts, about the truth since day one. And that's just how I roll, man. That is just how I roll. Like Saquon said it, 11-6 and making the playoffs is a bad year. That's good culture. Exactly, man. And to see the new fans that we've gotten, like just always whining about that, it's like, dog, you don't know. What I grew up watching, you would have never lasted at the vet. You would have never, if this is tough for you and you hate them when they're not winning, you would have never lasted. None of those people, they would have had a really tough time. I mean it, man. There was some intense times as a child, the things I saw. But yeah, right. How insane is that we have Saquon Barkley? I still can't believe it. Still can't. And yeah, man, and I'm a firm believer in that. And that's something why I created On the Road to Victory. Because I was like, nope. Because that's what the media is telling them. That's what other fans are telling them. Everybody's just agreeing with dumbasses. And I'm like, who is stepping in here to be like, does anyone want to start learning how this shit works? Because they were just getting away with it, just making shit up. Oh, we can't trade for this. We actually don't have any. You need $15 million for the draft picks, actually. None of that shit was real, ever. And I'm just reading it like, who the fuck? All right, my turn. So all these people with acronyms on their names, and all this shit, like, I got tired, bro. So from my deathbed, I created this. That's how annoyed I was. Like, literally, that's how annoyed. And now people they get so mad that I won't agree with the ESPs and the Dan Cilios of the world. And it's like, I'm sorry, dog, but I just prefer my actual analysis over shock value and just stupidity. So let people be ignorant. It is what it is, folks. Right? How insane is it? And I think that's another reason. Davey is probably one of those people telling me I'll say, we're the worst team. We suck. So he's offended that I told him, we're going to get guys like Saquon, Bryce Huff. We're going to add on there. And, that offends those people. And that's okay, man, because I get that you don't want the Eagles to win. You want to be right. That's what takes precedence for you. For me, I don't give a shit. I want the Eagles to win. It has nothing to do with me being right. I just happen to be right that we would smoke the free agency because I know how the cap works. So you see, if you just listen and learn, little Davey, things would have went differently for you. But here we are again. Yo, Dragon, let's go, baby. Appreciate you tuning in, my man. Let's go, Birds. And I love to see you guys sharing that love. But look, we looked at the update. I talked about the cap space. You saw the updated depth chart. Got the gander at some of the new players there quickly. What else do I got still left in the chamber here? Okay. Here's some draft picks. You guys saw that all those picks went back one like a week and a half ago. In case you missed that, just know those are our draft picks for 2024. Get excited. Let's go, Birds. What are some other? Oh, I still didn't make that post. Big shout out to all of you rocking the Sicko season content. Cannot thank you enough for getting that stuff. You guys are truly, truly awesome. All of you. I love you, each and every one of you. Daniel, Tiffany, Will, all of you are out there. Big Jim, everybody else I'm forgetting because I am a drifter. But what else? I'm looking at the graphics I still have up here. We talked about the base defense. Now, this was before we had Oren Burks. So I'll be changing this. Don't worry. That show's coming too, baby. I hope you guys are excited because I get so pumped putting these shows together. Like just seeing what the team looks like, the depth charts, doing something. I'm like, oh, yeah. Like I get ready to run through a wall, man. I don't know what it is, but the Eagles, it's 24/7, 365 for me, man. It never ends. I just really love the Eagles at all times. I really do. I don't know why, but let's go. A lot, man. A lot of little D energy flying around, but no, we just talked about, recapping the week, talked about the new depth chart, cap space, all that stuff, but it's Fan Friday, man. So whatever is on your guys' minds, that's what the show is about. Didn't know the Sicko stuff was out. Oh, it sure is. China, there was a link like to put the stuff on my YouTube and it went away and I don't know where it is now and I need to really get on that. Hold on one sec. Sorry, I had to text Chelsea back. But it's out there. Let me see if I can help you out here real quick. So there we go. So this should be able to send you there. That is the link to all of the On the Road to Victory apparel that is out so far. And I showed you guys a couple of the new designs. I think I'm going to come out with one of them pretty soon just because of what time of the season it is. But yeah, go check it out. You guys want any of that stuff? I really can't thank you enough for your support. I get $1 for each sale, so it really doesn't matter. You don't have to buy anything. I think it's awesome that you guys want to rock that stuff. But you can also wait. There are sales. There might be a sale right now, but I try to keep my eye on it. Let you guys know when that stuff is on sale so you can go get something. I want to see you guys getting that with, whatever's going on. Nothing new with Red Egg. Yeah, that was Nina's question tonight. Yeah, man. That's pretty much the recap for the week. You know the cap space. You know I'll keep you up to date with that. You know all of the signings. Okay, so this weekend you're going to get I think I have 8 ways to create cap space. Then we're going to do, I know we have the positions of strength. Like I want to do a free agency tracker, like recap of all the moves, what the roster looks like. Got a bunch of stuff coming your way, man. And then that's going to lead right into the draft stuff, where if you were following during free agency, you see I go through each position and we talk about who I like where, so who are the day 1, day 2, day 3, where day 3, where I think the Eagles should be looking. So you'll see who the Eagles have a quarterback, talk about why we don't need a quarterback until, 6th round, 7th. Hope you guys are strapped in and ready for a wild sicko season. This season will be here before you know it. I promise. It's weird. Like it does take forever. It really does. But we'll get through it together. Ask China, man. We went through that countdown and it was like, damn, I thought we were just at 99. Then we were at day 1. Then we were at day 0. We got a 0 now, baby. And we got another 0 in Agent Huff. And I'm all about it. Was working on a little shirt there. Don't worry about that. But nice. So everybody, there is a sale right now. Go check out your Eagles content. And there's only a few shirts there. You got the sicko season. You got Big Dom. And what's the other one, China? I cannot remember what the other design was. I am a drifter, true drifter. But yeah, I don't know. But top 5, a lot of good ones out there. I put out the top 200 not long ago. Trying to think off the top of my head who it's remaining. But I still like Kyle Duggar, Justin Simmons. But buy more stickers. You don't have to do that. But I truly appreciate all of your support. EAGLES. Everybody better be finishing that shit right in the chat. Eagles. Let's go. That's right, China. It is a Jason Kelsey t-shirt. And didn't even get to finish the Cox one. Was trying to make a Saquon one. Making a Bryce Huff one. Dude, there are so many. I told you guys, I seriously have like 17 designs. I'm like, with work and like literally putting this together, like honestly, it's driving me insane. Like I don't even know what sleep is anymore. And God help us all. But you'll get more designs, and I try to space them out so that way once, like when you first put out a design, it is on sale for the first like 72 hours. So that's why I try to space them out a little bit. But I'm going to put a new one out this weekend. That's I'm glad you brought that stuff up. So I will put some stuff out for you. But Kavai, at the top of my head, yeah, I don't know, man. I honestly, it's been too long of a week to even remember all the things I said and who was even on there. But a lot of good guys. And as I said, we will have that free agency recap with the top 200 again this week. So just like last week, you'll get that again. You'll see all my top free agents for the Eagles at each position. So if you're a true sicko, man, keep tuning in. You'll hear all of this information. But that's all I've got for you tonight. I got to keep checking my phone. I do apologize. Just make sure. Okay, so she got that. You know what, Kavai? Let me do you a favor here. Let me look this up while I have my damn phone out. But I don't want to give you a list because I can't. I looked up somebody else's, so they're giving me right off the bat, Stephon Gilmore. No thanks, dude. So like that's my point. I'm not giving you like who the best free agents are. I always talk about who would go with the Eagles. Clowney. Well, it depends. You get rid of Reddick. They've got Diggs pretty high. Quandre Diggs is pretty old and not that good. They got Julian Blackmon behind him. I would take Blackmon over him. Davius White's out there. See, Jamal Adams in their top 10. He is atrocious. I would not take Jamal Adams. So, yeah, this list is ass. See, that's why I make my own lists, bro. Top of my head, though. Oh, my God. Was there something? I might have deleted all those graphics, though, bro. So, don't think I'm going to be able to. Yeah, I deleted all those free agents. Sorry, man. But still not against Simmons. Still those linebackers we talked about. There's still a bunch of the safeties we talked about. Tavier Thomas is out there. So I know you added Tyler Hall, who can help you in special teams and his depth, but I'd still look to add there in the draft or free agency. So you still get a lot of guys I talked about. And I think Tavier Thomas being in there. I know there's another corner I really like. Miles Bryant is out there. Trying to think of the linebackers that are available. Wouldn't be against adding there, but you added a lot there. So I think you look into the draft and then might be okay there. There's a lot of guys out there, though, man. We've added a lot, though, that I feel comfortable with. We talked about, some receivers. We added Paris Campbell. Tight end, you could add, so maybe, Bryson Hopkins. Add him in my top 5. I would add Bryson Hopkins as a depth piece to tight end. But other than that, I'm sorry, dog. At the top of my head, I just can't really think of them all. But I will be doing that show this week, so do not fear, my friend. Now, let me get back down here. If you guys have anything, further thoughts, questions, anything, I'm getting rolling out here. But, yeah, so excited for the season. Yeah, me too, Tiffany. I am more than ready for sure. Oh, yeah, man. And sorry, I can't think off the top of my head. I really can't. But those guys you just mentioned there who I like. But I'm sure there's more I forgot. You know me. So, oh, dude. I love me some Sixers and Flyers and Phils, but nothing's the same as the Eagles. Nothing can top it. So, look, if you guys are sickos, you just keep tuning in here every day. And when I get off work or whatever the hell I'm doing, I'll be here and we'll get through it together. And I look forward to these days each and every day. I do. And I can't always do live, but I try to as much as I can. I do like, though, sometimes when I can record it. And then if I get a break, I can try to upload it or whatever and just do little pieces throughout the day. I do my best to try to get you guys this stuff going on when I'm working or whatever and try to make videos from people's homes. And I'm doing what I can, man. Making, graphics while I'm on lunch. It's just I dedicate a lot of my time here. So I appreciate you guys taking that little time to watch the show, because to me, it's like, I put so many hours in, and I'm like, if they could just watch just a little bit, I'll be so excited. And I don't think you guys realize how much that means to me. So just you don't have to do anything else, man. Just taking that time and spending it with me, man, just 1 hour. I really think that's awesome that you guys choose to do that. So you're sickos, your family. I love each and every one of you. I can't thank you enough. And tomorrow I'll be putting out the 10 ways to create cap space. And I'm going to try to get multiple ones in, but I always dream of that, but it's the weekend, so I am going to try to relax a little too. So I'll put that out. You'll get a lot of information this weekend. I'll put it that way. But a lot of stuff coming your way. Going to keep you up to date with the cap stuff. Every time that changes, anything like that, you will have as much information as you possibly could ever need. And you have a nice night as well, my friend. Thank you so much for that, brother. Hope you have a great weekend. Hope to hear from you throughout. But if not, man, I'll be here every damn day. And for those of you that are members, you guys look out for those posts each week. You can get in your questions like Nina did, and you guys can have your own little graphic here with your question thrown on. You want to give your thoughts at the bottom like Nina did here. You can do that as well. But I just try to make you guys more a part of this show each and every time. And I love you guys doing what I can to keep improving and keep wishing me luck on these jobs, man. I keep growing. I keep getting better. And hopefully I can be out there doing this stuff and making some big time money. We'll get a new computer. We'll really rock this thing out, baby. Let's go. But have yourselves a great Friday night. If you need anything, whether it's about the birds, you want to talk about life, you need a friend. Look, don't be Dave and come in here negative energy and hating life. Just reach out, man. I'm here. I've been to hell and back. I'm not a preacher, not a counselor, but I will. Maybe we can talk and that'll help you decide what the route is for you. I have no idea what you need, but we can figure it out together, man. That's what we need to do in this world. Band together rather than letting them tear us apart. And that is all I try to do here on this channel. So you guys ever need a friend, you just want to talk about life, or you just want to talk about the birds and that'll help you in life, man, I am here for it because that's what helped me. So just trying to extend my hand as you guys always do for me. So I love you guys. Hope you're all having a great weekend so far. Hope you have some great plans. If not, relax, whatever the hell you want to do. Enjoy your weekend. But until next time, I am Jimmy Smith, and this is On the Road to Victory. Have yourselves a great night. Stay safe out there. And as always, say it with me now. Go Birds!